Hello everyone and welcome to another timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Orzhov 3-tree battalion deck in timeless format. So I'm going to be testing out some few new cards here. We got the Cottontail Caretaker and the 3-tree battalion in this deck. And despite us only having 24 hits with the 3-tree battalion, you still have 96% chance of actually hitting a creature with the 3-tree battalion compared to Collected Company, which is actually quite insane. So despite us having a lot of these non-creature spells like Thoughtseizes, Chthonian Nightmare, Fatal Push, Source of Plowshare, the fact that we can play something like a Collected Company in a deck like this is actually pretty sick. And especially hitting something like an Ajani with the 3-tree battalion means that it'll actually just transform immediately, which is something that this deck is actually looking to do. Another thing this card can hit is Ranger Captabios, which is really nice versus Show and Tell. If you do manage to hit the Ranger Captabios, you can sacrifice the copy it creates on opponent's upkeep, and that'll buy you additional turn as well. And even post-sideboard, copying an Arcana of Lemuria. Now opponent has to worry about 2 Arcana of Lemurias when they're trying to combo off as well. The problem is this is a 4-mana card, so they most likely will have the combo, but we do have other means of actually slowing it down with things like Thoughtseizes and Juggernaut Peddler. So it should still be okay despite this card being a 4-mana card. And the other card that I'm going to be trying out is Cottontail Caretaker. This is a 2-mana card. Whenever this enters battlefield, you can choose a white creature card in your hand, and that card perpetually gains an Offspring 1, which means that you can pay an extra mana when you play that card, and then it'll create a 1/1 token out of it. So for example, if you play the Cottontail Caretaker, and then you play a Johnny the following turn, and then you make an Offspring out of it, and it can become a Planeswalker immediately, which is kind of sick. Another cool application of the Cottontail Caretaker in this deck is the Oscillate Pride. If you play the Oscillate Pride and then make an Offspring out of it, because the Offspring is a token, the Oscillate Pride is going to make additional Oscillate Pride tokens, which can make your board grow exponentially, which is pretty insane. But again, it is a 2-mana 2/2 that doesn't do anything, that doesn't affect the board state at all. So I'm not really sure how this card will actually work in a real game. So I'll probably play some games with this deck and talk about it in the outro, whether or not if this card actually is playable. So having said that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Timeless Special 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Okay, let's try this out. I mean, that looks pretty good. Let's go Guide Up Souls first. Faithless Looting. Oh, it's a Madness deck. It's a Madness deck.
May our axes strike as one.
Pretty cool concept. They might also have what is that card called? Like 5-mana 4/4. And they don't have a companion. There's a pretty good chance they might actually play like Grief or Fury. Okay. What is the deal here? Maybe I'm just... Did I just a Johnny? I should just a Johnny. Yeah.
I will prove my worth to my pride.
This was gonna happen no matter what.
Tooth and claw, I will have vengeance. need all the strength we can muster.
We'll just hold back. Pretty hard to kill the Ajani right now. Maybe a bolt. Bolt on the Oslo Pride. That makes sense. Another Ajani. I mean, this game is over, right?
Raise your blades!
I'll say no to that. Yeah, that's why I only actually play one copy of Solitude. Pretty bad top decks, especially like if you're not flooding. Probably want some like unlicensed Hearse. Probably don't want Juggernauts. And we probably want... I really don't want to bring Surgical, but their deck relies on Graveyard a lot. So probably something like this, and we'll get rid of a Thoughtseize, maybe. Yeah. Actually, instead of a Thoughtseize, let's have a copy of Juggernaut. 3 lands, swords, Orcish, 2 Orcish Bowmasters. Pretty nice. And the fact that we have 3 lands means that just one more land, and we can get the 3-tree battalion out, which is nice. Maybe I could have waited. Maybe I could have waited. Yeah, their deck draws a lot. I think I'm actually going to take the 4. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 4 here. Say what? Okay. All swords? I'm pretty sure they have an Orcish Bowmaster. That's what they have. I'll take the land. Now I have Orcish Bowmaster plus the swords. Oh, you're dead. I was also thinking about playing a deck something similar to this with Faithless Looting, Ox, and some like Blood Gas and stuff like that, but man, is it brutal against the Orcish Bowmaster. I mean, luckily they actually have a lot of life because I sourced twice. Bestow, collect 6 evidence. Might just give it to them. They do play Bolt though, which is a little bit scary. That is insane. That is insane. Wombo combo. Oh, end the turn. Crack the 1/1, Ranger Captain Bios. Orcish Bowmaster. Short. Very nice. Yeah, hitting the Ranger Captain Bios with the 3-tree battalion is pretty insane, isn't it? Okay. Got some removals. Got Juggernauts. Let's go. Oh, this is oh, it's a Belcher combo deck. I see. It's a Belcher combo. We actually seen this combo deck before. We have, haven't we? So how do we win game 1? How do we win game 1? Going second. They probably have the win. They probably have the win here. Dark Ritual. They would need 1 more mana. Okay, they got it. Actually, let me see their deck. So... Besiege. They even play Pact of Negation. I mean, standard stuff. Standard stuff. Bring Juggernauts. Lauren. Archon. Fitting Needles. So we'll just take all the creature removal spells out. Yeah, Archon's actually really good against them. What else do I want? Do I want a surgical? Do I want a surgical? Perhaps. Ranger Captain is also really good against them as well. For situations like that. Okay, let's go down on a 3-tree battalion. My opponent's probably gonna be mulliganing for a ley line. Oh, this is not a good hand. What can you do? I'm gonna try to win with the Archon here. Archon seems really good against them. Archon seems very good against them. Really? I'm surprised they decided to just run it out. Like, what if I have a removal spell for that? I guess no fear. No fear. Not much you can do if they just run it out like that. Wow. Actually saved, perhaps? Actually got there. Problem is, we still don't have the win. We still don't have the win here. Let's see. We could get like a Ranger Captain Bios with this. Lauren. That's pretty good. Get rid of both of their enchantments. Okay. Actually, maybe game 3? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. Cthonian Nightmare is a little bit slow. Let's just have another Contail. How many creatures do we have? 32? That's 32 minus 2. Which enchanter? We do have a Ranger Captain Bios to kind of like delay it. Let's try it. Man, my opponent hasn't mulliganed once with the with their ley line, and they just always have it. Okay, GG's. Maybe I should have mulliganed for Pitting Needle. Kahira. Could be like an elemental. It could be like an elemental. I want to just pressure opponent with the Oscillate Pride here. Going Guide Up Soul first. Ooh. So it was an elemental deck. Get rid of a binding. Then we go a Johnny. Or we could get another Oscillate Pride down if we wanted to. I guess a Johnny is not bad if they have a removal spell. I think I want to get the Guide of Souls up as soon as possible because like a Fury is pretty bad. Elementals. We'll have some Juggernauts. We currently have 26 creatures. Don't know how good Fatal Push is. How good is a Juggernaut? How good is a Orcish Bowmaster? I mean, they actually play Risen Reef, so... Yeah, I mean, seems pretty good. Oh, they probably play Beans, huh? Right? Lauren is also pretty good. So again, Cottontail seems like an easy cut. The card just seems kind of mediocre. Okay. Let's attack. Probably just play the Ajani here.
May our axes strike as one.
Resin Reef. Another Guide of Soul. I think at the moment we're just looking for a land, right? Because we have 3-tree battalion. I don't know. I could have also transformed the Ajani, but I don't know. I don't think it's as good. Another Risen Reef. We do have another Orcish Bowmaster. I mean, if nothing crazy happens here, we might just win the game. There we go. Fury. Fury. Pretty good. Thoughtseize was actually pretty amazing. Rebel. So they're out of stuff, and if we draw land, we might just win the game. Interesting, they shocked. Okay. Wow. We just kind of crushed them. Fortunately, a mulligan. Every time we see Contail Caretaker, like, we have to mulligan because we just don't have the land, so pretty impossible to test a card where we have to mulligan all the time. Giganta. Giganta, Giganta. Man, oh man, Orcish Bowmaster. I think I'm just gonna let the Ocelot Pride stick here for one turn. I'll just use the Swords of Plowshare. Okay, so we get rid of a Johnny.
It's not perfect.
Then we Orcish Bowmaster the Ocelot Pride. They probably have Orcish Bowmaster of their own, but I mean, this is still a pretty bad attack from them, right? Oh, they're playing a version with like a marionette. Okay.
Where shall we hunt today?
Discharge. So we can grab Ocelot Pride. Pretty nice. Probably attack with you. I guess I could have attacked with this Cow Warrior. Right? I feel like they're in a pretty bad spot though. Speaking of bad spot, we are flooding, which isn't good. Whoa. What? Okay, that actually caught me off guard. So I should have definitely put it on this. Huh. I mean, the Ranger Captain Bios is just so insane. It's just so insane. Why is it so good? Deal more damage or do that? In case I draw a Solitude. Probably sacrifice the Ranger Captain Bios. That wouldn't... I feel like that wouldn't actually matter. Thinking about it. We'll see. I don't think we have to sacrifice it. Another Flage. Am I dead because of that? Oh no. They didn't go face. Okay. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I guess we get another flyer if I do this, so... I'm not sure if we actually would have won by attacking all there. I don't know. Okay, Sun Cleanser's in. Probably Peddler's out. I want Unlicensed first. And a Surgical. I don't know how I won that, by the way. I'm not really a fan of Surgical against them. And especially in a deck with, like, 4 types of swords and a Solitude. Like, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I really want to make this work. What do I take out? Oh yeah, Thought Seizes. That's a good one. I'll take a copy of a Contail out. Man. I just don't think Contail is a good card. I just don't think Contail is a good card. Probably a removal spell coming out here. They play Lightning Bolt. So going first with the Orcish Bowmaster up against another Orcish Bowmaster, that's kind of where you don't want to be. Because, like, if you play Orcish Bowmaster, it's just going to get Orcish Bowmastered. You know, especially going first. Like, it feels kind of bad. The problem with my hand is, well... If I don't play this Orcish Bowmaster, it's just so bad. Like, I'm losing out on so much tempo. I should just play it. Okay, nice. We got another Orcish Bowmaster.
Nothing is more important than family.
Lage. My opponent might bite the dust if they do that. Oh. Into? Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, that's a good card. Play out another Ajani.
Fight beside
Gonna
me,
attack.
brother.
You know, a cool play they could have actually made was don't upkeep the static prison. Now you have 6 cards in the yard. If I transformed the Ajani, they could have blaged my Ajani. So what's their last card? Seems like it could be like a static prison. It's actually... It could be a bolt. Yeah, it seems like it could be a bolt. What to do? If they have a bolt, I don't want to, like, just play out the Ajani here. I mean, I guess it's still, like, a 2-for-1. Fine.
Nothing is more important than family.
Alternatively, I could have just attacked and then attacked with all, like, one more creature here. Orcish Bowmaster. That's something I could have done. Goblin Bombardment. Not very good without too many creatures. Really? Very interesting. If I get one more turn here... They're gonna do it now? It's very expensive, Goblin Bombardment just to kill the Ajani. Very expensive, right? Okay. Swords. That's what they had. Fine. Guess we just attack all. They forgot the Goblin Bombardment trigger.
To the hunt.
But I think they were dead anyways. Ooh. I think I have to mulligan. I'm going first, so... Mulliganing a lot today, right? Mulliganing a lot today. We even got a tap land. I'll take a land. Because we have this card coming up. I'm not sure if I actually have the time to do that. We'll see. Might just have to just jam in a Juggernaut here. Yeah, looks like we have to just jam in the Juggernaut. Double show and tell. Darn. Opponent. Order. Order in the court. I'll take a Thoughtseize or Juggernaut Peddler, please. If we can win a multi-5, that would be amazing. Oh, baby. Two, three, four, five, six. I think I have to do this, even though I don't have lethal here. Oh man, we are one off. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm sad. Darn you, game. You just had to make me mulligan to 5. Okay, this is a good sign. Nice. Super nice. Okay, that was huge. Winning game 1 versus a show and tell, of all things, is actually pretty huge. Okay, so these are the cards that we're gonna be bringing. I think we can cut Solitude. Fatal Push. Again, like this card was so bad. It didn't do anything. It was just vanilla 2-mana 2/2 bear. Oh yeah, I want to bring a Surgical as well. I guess I'm just gonna go down on some Cadonia Nightmares and Orcish Bowmaster then. I don't want to go down on Swords because they could just bring out a Troxa, you know? Yeah, this one's good. Although I'd actually prefer to have like an Oscillate Pride instead of a Thoughtseize on turn 1. Oh my god, opponent. You are in for some very, very harsh reality check. So let's say this is a show and tell. Like, they'd have to get so lucky, right? I think it's actually just a Johnny here. Because even if they have a show and tell, say this is a show and tell, and they draw an Omniscience, I can just put an Archon down. Okay, it was a Fatal Push. So we'll go Oscillate Pride, Juggernaut first, and then we'll... I don't know if we're actually going to be playing this Archon, but... It's there. This is crazy, though. I feel like this is a mistake. They should have topped this. Especially when they have a Lauren revealed. Oh, they're going for the draw. Okay. Double Aatroxa? I guess I'd rather not. So they could get back like a dig through time. Seven cards in the yard. So I should probably play Archon because I don't want them to dig through time into a show and tell in the same turn. You gotta draw like a 3-tree battalion or maybe a swords even. This is why I didn't want to cut any of the swords against this matchup. Because not only does it kill the Juggernaut that you give, but if they get an Aatroxa down, it's actually a pretty bad time. Maybe opponent got frustrated at the fact that we have an Archon and they just left. What is it with Omnitel players and roping? Like, I don't understand. Like, whenever there's like just a minuscule amount of trouble on the board, like such as like an Archon or Juggernaut Peddlers, they just leave the scene, right? They just leave the scene. Oh my god. Every single turn. Rope at the end of my turn. Rope on their turn. Rope when we go to combat. Finally. Okay, so having played a deck, so we lost to a Belcher deck that had Leyline of Sanctity every single time without really mulliganing much, and they even had a turn 2 combo with the channel. What's up with that? But otherwise, we actually beat the other usual suspects in the meta, such as the Show and Tell and the Mardu Energy deck, which was actually pretty good. Every time I play Witch Enchanter in a deck, I'm actually fairly surprised like what it can do. Like even against an energy deck that actually didn't have any Goblin Bombardments, anything of that sort on the battlefield, like just the fact that this is a creature but it can be played as a land, like gives you so much advantage with the Guide of Souls. Like you drew a land, what could have been a land when you drew this card. Like I drew this twice, by the way. And I'm like, man, I just keep drawing lands, but when I play this card, it triggered the Guide of Souls, and I got that extra energy to push for damage. So like, even in those kind of circumstances, like the card just has very little opportunity cost in 2-color decks. It's actually kind of crazy. Like especially in a deck, right, with the God of Souls where you can gain life. Like I feel like the Witch Enchanter, the 3 life that you have to pay, it's very minuscule. But let's get to the important question. Was the Cottontail Caretaker good? I would say this card was absolutely terrible. The card is way too slow. It is so slow, it's actually kind of nuts. The idea here was to Oscillate Pride, play the Cottontail Caretaker, Give the offspring to the Oslo Pride, and then once you play it, this card makes a token out of it. The Oslo Pride is going to make a token of the Oslo Pride that it just created at the end of the turn if you gain life. So I mean that was kind of the idea here. I mean, there's other cards like Ranger Captive Bios. Copying the Ajani is actually really good because if you keep the main copy instead of a token, that'll trigger the cat dying, and the Johnny will transform when you actually play this card immediately. So that's actually pretty sick. But in Timeless, that is just not gonna happen. The card is just too slow. This is like a backwards thinking if you think that you could maybe like take over the game with the Oslo Pride after playing the Contel Caretaker, because this card is a one-mana card. It's supposed to come down on turn 1. Like, you're never gonna let go of the chance of not playing the Oslo Pride on turn 1 unless you already have a Guide of Souls that you can play on turn 1, right? If you skip out on turn 1 just so that you can give Offspring to this card on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you play the Oslo Pride, like, games are gonna be over in Timeless. Like, you just can't do that. So I do genuinely think the Contel Caretaker is just a bad card. The extra mana that you have to pay is also quite substantial. Like, if you look here, like, I'm playing against a combo deck, right? I'm gonna lose, so I have to play the Juggernaut. But if I play the Juggernaut, I don't have any cards in my hand, so the Cottontail Caretaker is going to just rot in my hand. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of this card. So maybe instead, could even play something like Deathrite Shaman. Because getting 4 mana with the 3-tree Battalion was a little bit harder than I expected. A lot of the times, this card just kind of rotted in my hand. Although, because the 3-tree Battalion is the only 4-mana card, even though we're stuck on 3 mana, for example, every card that we draw can be played, right? Which is exactly what happened. Like, I wasn't afraid of drawing another card, except for another copy of 3-tree Battalion. So even though the Tree Battalion is kind of hard to cast in a 22 land deck, I think it's still okay because every card that you draw is going to be pretty impactful anyways. So you weren't going to be casting this unless you get a mana. So yeah, I could definitely see like going down on Contail, maybe go up on a copy of Juggernaut in the main board. Alternatively, you could also play Skyclave Apparition as well. That's something you can do. You cannot go up on Cathonian Nightmare just because we are pretty low on creature count. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.